In the hardest hit areas of West Africa, too few doctors are containing the disease, rendering it a death sentence.
Ebola treatment centers are reduced to places where people go to die alone.
The situation is so dire, doctors in Liberia went on strike over unpaid salaries and a lack of protective gear. In Senegal, closing borders over fears of Ebola spreading have led to food shortages, panic buying, and price hikes. Nigeria has just increased its number of infected to 17. And the death toll in the Democratic Republic of Congo has risen to 31. The UN is worried people are dying from preventable diseases because everyone's focused on Ebola. Experts hope their pleas will help mobilize the vast expertise they desperately need to stamp out Ebola.
To curb the epidemic, it is imperative that states immediately deploy civilian and military assets with expertise in biohazard containment.
It is important for the scientific community to come together and look at, under this very unprecedented situation.
Sonya, Artero, TVB News.
A British boy suffering from a brain tumour will be reunited with his parents now that they've been released from a Madrid prison. Asher King's parents spent 2 days in custody after they took their son out of a hospital in southern England against doctors' advice and travelled to Spain. But a Spanish judge ordered their release Tuesday after being notified by British authorities that they were no longer seeking the couple's extradition to answer charges. The duo insist they had a right to ignore doctors' advice and seek alternative treatment for their son abroad.
Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has reshuffled his cabinet. 5 women have been named to join his 18-member team. That matches the previous record back in 2001 under then-leader Junichiro Koizumi. The move is seen as part of Abe's strategy to revive the economy by making greater use of Japan's vast pool of well-educated women and promoting them to leadership posts. Among the appointments, Yuko Obuchi, daughter of a former Prime Minister, was named Trade and Economy Minister. And Midori Matsushima is now Justice Minister. Several top officials were retained, including Foreign Minister Fumio Kishida and Finance Minister Taro Aso, both men. Activities were held across the country today, marking Japan's surrender in the Second World War. In Beijing, top government leaders, including President Xi Jinping, attended a ceremony commemorating the end of the Sino-Japanese War between 1937 and 1945. This is the first time China has officially marked Japan's surrender 69 years after it happened. From now on, September the 3rd is known as China's Victory Day in the anti-Japanese war. Here in Hong Kong, government officials and various groups also mark the first official Victory Day commemorations. Owen Fong has that story.
Chief Executive Leung Chun-ying and senior government officials, along with war veterans, were among those attending today's ceremony. It began with the police honor guard firing gun salutes. A moment of silence followed. Participants then presented flower wreaths to honor those who contributed to China's victory against Japan. Meanwhile, members of the Action Committee for Defending the Diaoyu Islands staged a rally, demanding an apology from Japan for the invasion of China. And the Federation of Trade Unions protested outside the Japanese consulate. They criticized Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe for honoring war criminals earlier. Owen Fung, TVB News.
All right, Tony, what's in tennis?
Well, we've got some good news for Chinese tennis fans because China's Peng Shuai reached her first singles Grand Slam semi-final following a straight sets win in the last 8 of the US Open. Standing in the way, or between her and the final, is Caroline Wozniacki, who looked in excellent shape against Italy's Sara Errani.
Following in the footsteps of her compatriot Li Na, Peng Shuai looks determined to leave her mark on Chinese tennis. She advanced to her first Grand Slam semi-final with a straight sets win over Swiss teenager Belinda Belic.
I also dream about it. I was really happy this time. I broke it because everybody was like ask me, oh, we can maybe have a chance to get the quarters, and then so it's really happy first time quarters, and I went to the semis, and of course it's exciting, surprised, but it's not like I feel, cannot.
Peng's reward is a date with number 10 seed Caroline Wozniacki. The Dane moved into the last four with a comprehensive win over Italy's Sara Errani, 6-love, 6-1. In the men's draw, the Roger Federer show continues at Flushing Meadows as the Swiss beat 17th seed Roberto Bautista 6-4, 6-3, 6-2. It was the first time the pair played each other, and Federer wasn't quite sure what to expect.
So he's got things that can make you feel uncomfortable, I must say. He can absorb pace well, and from that standpoint, even though I did feel I had margin because I never played him before, I was still pushing forward all along and trying to always keep a gap between him and me in terms of the result and the scoreline.
Also through to the last 8 is Thomas Berdych, who went past Dominic Thiem in straight sets.
Meanwhile, US Ryder Cup captain Tom Watson has completed his team selection for the upcoming tournament by picking 3 wildcard players. And they are Keegan Bradley, Hunter Mahan and Webb Simpson. They join Watson and 9 other Americans who take on Team Europe at Gleneagles, Scotland from September 26th to the 28th. Europe have won 7 of the last 9 encounters.
And finally tonight, a massive hippopotamus was spotted floating along the River Thames in London yesterday. But not to worry, it wasn't the real deal, it was art. The hippopotamus is the creation of renowned Dutch artist Florentine Hofmann. He's best known for his rubber duck, the same giant yellow duck that delighted Hong Kong last year. This 21-metre-long wooden hippo took 6 weeks to design, another 6 weeks to build in London. And if you want to see it in action, hippopotamus will grace England through September. That's the news. Thanks for watching.
Good night.
I've spoken to the judge, and he's agreed to release you under my supervision.
Really?
Did you see a therapist? His genius was unparalleled, Shaw. I need someone who can get through to him.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm pumped. Let's let the healing begin. Have you talked to him at all about his future? Give him time to figure out what he wants.
A special tribute to Robin Williams. Friday, Oriental Watch Company presents Good Will Hunting on Pearl's Friday Attractions. Sun Life Financial presents The Weather Report is brought to you by Sun Life Financial.
Good evening. It was fine and very hot today. As the situation chart shows, the weather was generally fine over the South China coastal areas. Up until 5 p.m., today's temperatures ranged from 27.6 to 32.8 degrees, and the relative humidity was between 56 and 86%. The current temperature is 30 degrees Celsius, with the relative humidity standing at 72%. So, Freddie, how's the weather tomorrow?
Oh.
It will be hot with sunny periods tomorrow, with a few showers and a couple of thunderstorms later in the day. Temperatures will range between 27 and 32 degrees, and it will be mainly cloudy with a few showers on Friday. Tomorrow morning's air quality health index will range from low to moderate, and the maximum UV index forecast for tomorrow will be about 10. And now to the latest global weather update. Cloudy in Shanghai, rain in Taipei, and showers in Xiamen. Thunderstorms in Guangzhou, cloudy in Chengdu, and showers in Macau. Sunny in Beijing, cloudy in Seoul and Tokyo. Thunderstorms in Bangkok and Manila, rain in Ho Chi Minh. Showers in Kuala Lumpur, bright in Singapore and Jakarta. thunderstorms in New Delhi.